Family, what's up, family? Everybody's out that's out there. Do me a favor. You are viewing this, tag three people. Everybody that's viewing this, tag three people. Let them know that we are live. Share this, and then we want you to engage in the conversation tonight. Very special event happening on August 23rd. Uh, Books, bingo, and bonding. Man, it's something great that's coming to our community. And I believe that there are many people that will be able to benefit from this event. It's a family event. It's not just for our young people, but it's for the family. We want you to get involved. There are so many things that are happening in our community. We're marginalized, our resources are dated. And so there's some wonderful people that have gotten together to host this great event to mitigate the negative impact of illiteracy as well as close the gap, right? That many of our kids are experiencing when they branch out into other areas, whether it's high schools outside the area or colleges outside the area. There are a lot of other kids who are coming from different communities who are far more advanced. And a lot of that is due to um, our communities being disproportionate in terms of education, especially, in our community. So, listen, we have some people that's about solutions, that's about answers, that's about making sure that they do their part. God has blessed them, God has burdened them, God has anointed them, and they are getting ready for one of the greatest events in our area this summer. Listen, we know everybody's been doing cookouts, everybody's been partying and enjoying themselves, but at some point, we got to make an investment in our education. So, in just a short moment, I'm going to bring out our special guest tonight. But again, we want to get this live going. So I'm going to tag some people. I want you to tag some people. Let them know that we are live. This is something that's going to be beneficial to our community, right? And listen, if you're not able to make it, there are ways for you to donate. There are ways for you to partner. There are ways for you to be involved. And we want you to definitely do that. All right. So as I'm tagging, want you to tag. As I'm sharing, want you to share and let people know that we're live. Let's go ahead and let's get some engagement in the comment section. Now, lastly, before I bring them on, um, listen, we have been continuing to pray, support our community, our Patterson family residents, as well as residents of some of the surrounding towns that have been negatively impacted by the water main break. It has been 7 days, and if I'm not mistaken, as we've been following the updates, a high majority of everyone has water now, and they've put out an alert. If you don't have water by now, you should call Passaic Valley Water Commission because they are increasing pressure. They've been able to isolate where the main has broken, and they are working around the clock to restore. Listen, it's been a long journey. It's been a long 7 days. Um, I'm thanking God for all of those that survived. We know that water is a necessity. Water is a necessity. We use it for so many different reasons, beyond drinking, but even, our daily essentials as it pertains to cooking, washing dishes, bathing, right? Our hygiene have all been impacted by this water main break. So we're praying for the resources to continue to come in. We're praying for those that have been on the front line, that God will give them strength, wisdom. Our leaders, we're praying for them all. Everybody involved, I want to say thank you. Let's lift the resolve. Let's lift the resolve. Let's lift the support one another as we continue to, recover. I know this is very traumatic for a lot of people, and so we want you to remain focused. And as the days continue, we're looking for you to get back to not even some sense of normalcy, but even creating new norms, right? Because sometimes when essentials and necessities are impacted, it normally causes us to value something more. Sometimes we don't value something until it's interrupted or taken away. So may we value each other as people in our community and show love and support. Thank you very much. All right, guys, let's go. Let's continue to tag. Thank you so much. Listen, I'm about to bring my special guest out. We're grateful to God for them being on tonight. Tonight we're going to be promoting Books, Bingo, and Bonding, Thomas Transformative Touch, and Meet Me on the Carpet LLC tonight, along with their very, very, very special guest, keynote speaker. But I'm going to bring the main sponsors on. We got Miss Rashida Thomas, and we got Miss Akia Williams. Hey, ladies, how are y'all doing?
Good.
Well,
And then we got very special guest, keynote speaker, Marquise Lowry. Brother, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing good. How you doing yourself?
Man, outstanding, outstanding. Listen, I'm excited to have you guys on and have this conversation and dialogue about something so critical and significant in our communities. You guys, as educators, working in administration, working in education, on the front line in the school of the school systems, you get to see things firsthand, and working with different grade levels, kids coming from different economic backgrounds, different ethnicities, mostly minorities. You get to see it firsthand. And so we're excited about tonight's conversation and to talk about some of the things that you're doing to mitigate that negative impact and possibly eradicate it, right? Like do away with it all, because putting the work in and more people are chiming in and partnering and supporting. So may this, event, I pray it's the catalyst for something, new added to others who are, doing something about the problem. But let's get to the introduction. Let's go. Let's start with the sponsors. Miss Rashida and Miss Akia, I want you to introduce yourselves. Say what's up to everybody.
all right, you go ahead, sis. You take the stage.
Okay. I'm Rashida Thomas. I am a licensed clinician in Bergen, Passaic, and Essex County, and I'm also a licensed clinical alcohol and drug counselor.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Akia Williams. I am a lifelong educator. I am a early childhood educator. I also am sole proprietor of Meet Me on the Carpet LLC, where we offer story time and hands-on activities, well, specifically crafts experiences for children ages 3 to 8. And through those experiences, guided activities, we have sessions where we design and encourage, creativity, social emotional development, early literacy skills, and fine motor skills as well, in a safe and loving environment.
And next we have, let me say this right, PhD candidate. Like
Yes.
that's so dope. That is so dope, man.
Yeah. So how everyone doing? My name is Marcus Lowry. It's my little background. I have a master's in forensic psychology, also certified alcohol drug counselor, and currently pursuing a PhD in clinical psychology that focuses on forensic population. And if anybody not familiar with forensic population, that's people that's experience adverse situations related to adverse childhood experiences that contribute to adult behaviors that lead to criminal behavior and substance use.
And this is good. So as you can see, we have a very knowledgeable and experienced panel tonight. Before we get to the more serious questions, man, I got to do this icebreaker. I love doing this icebreaker. As a clinician, you have your certain questions that you ask to kind of find out about people's personality traits or character traits, right? So I'm gonna try to dig in a little bit with a couple of these. So it's a game that I love. I call it this or that, right? This or that, right? And so I'm gonna ask a couple of questions, and I just want to know, where do you stand? Sugar or salt in grits?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Everybody said sugar.
It has to be the field. It has to be the field. It has to be the. They all. Oh my god.
Oh wow. Sugar. Wow, we all said sugar.
All right, stay focused, Jason. Stay focused. They're good people. They're good people. Old school sneakers, Adidas or Pumas?
Puma.
I'm gonna say
I'll go
Puma.
with Adidas. I'll go with Adidas.
My Adidas. Walking down. Yeah. Okay. I like that. All right. Here we go. So man, Jodeci or Boys the Men?
Jodeci.
That's a hard one.
I'm gonna go Boys the Men because Boys the Men had a longer run.
Yeah, they sold 60 million plus.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy. But I'm a Jodeci person, but I mean, Boys the Men definitely longer run, more sales. They killed it, like it's hands down. But yo, this is good, y'all. This is good. Jamie Foxx or Martin?
I'm gonna go with Martin.
That's Martin all day. No shade to Jamie Foxx though.
Yeah.
Martin all day.
Biggie or Pac?
Ooh.
Biggie.
I'm gonna say Biggie, but
A kid.
huh?
I'm going with the West Side. I'm going with Pop.
You go with Pop?
Yeah, I'm rolling with him. I'm gonna go with it. Don't kill me.
All right.
Don't kill you.
He said don't.
Don't kill her.
The next one, I think. What's another good one? We're gonna go. Oh, we did Jamie Foxx and Martin, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go with fast foods, Chick-fil-A or McDonald's.
Neither.
Yeah, I mean, I would say McDonald's. But Chick-fil-A tastes like Tyson's in the bag. So.
Holy.
You said it tastes like Tyson's. Oh man! All right, y'all. Last one for the road. Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z. I'm Jay-Z.
Nas all day. I'm
Nas.
I'm Jay-Z.
Cuzzo?
I'm gonna say a little bit of both. I gotta go with both. I can't. I'm stuck on those two and Biggie and Pop.
This is good.
I think it depends on the day.
Yeah.
Yo, oh, you know what? Okay, it sounds like we're all from the same area. Same era. Last one. Because they're about to do a tour together. Monica or Brandy?
Brandy. I'm going with Brandy.
Brand.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
Y'all good people.
We
in the white boots. And the white shoes. The white shoes.
Great.
Man. Yo,
what a time. What a time.
I'm excited. I'm excited. August 23rd. We're here.
Yes.
We're here. About maybe 9 or 10 days away. How you feeling? I
feel like we coming in strong. It's a lot of support coming in. A lot of people sending in, funds or contributing any way that they can, even if they can't come, and that says a lot about who's behind it. Like all of us, like they believe in us. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about that, and I'm supercharged, and excited about that. And me and Kia was just talking about how we respect Marquise so much for like everything that he's done for this whole process. Like we had the ideas and everything, but you need that person that's gonna push and motivate the situation and kind of like connect the dots. He's a connector. Like he connects the dots and like, okay, this is what we could do. We could do this and we could do that. And this is how you execute. And you need that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're doing a project, like this is a big project. You know what I mean? And it could become even bigger, depending on how you guys connect with each other. So it all depends on your team, right? Your team is just important as the idea. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if you don't have the right people on the team and that is going to, push the vision, it is really not going to go anywhere. It's just an
Yeah.
idea. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you don't really have anything, motivating or pushing that. But I think him spearheading a lot of the situation really took a lot of responsibility kind of off of us and how we're going to execute certain things. And you could get discouraged too in our community really fast, right? That's a big thing, right? The lack of support. You know what I'm saying? The lack of responses or the lack of, engagement.
Yeah.
We lack a lot of that when it comes to like parents and getting on board and different things like that. So I feel like this is like a, something for us to really like get the parents and families involved. You know what I mean? And we have to take control of the system. And we can't just look for the politicians or everybody else, like everybody talk, right? So who's really doing?
Yeah.
We tired of talking.
Right.
But y'all could
Yeah.
go ahead because I could keep going. But go ahead, Marquise. Go ahead, kid.
Okay, how you feeling about this?
I'm real chill and simple. I don't speak much. It's all about action for me. But I will say, like, I'm just like I'm in awe. I'm in bliss. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the future, where we're going, where we are, and I just want to thank our people, Marquise, for just the dots and supporting us and helping us to think outside of the box. So that's continue to think outside the box and be pushed and be stretched and move. That's it. So I'm ready to take on. I'm ready to take it on.
Yeah. Marquise, how you feeling, bro?
I feel good, based off of, especially when she came to me with the topic, because, this is primarily my primary focus at PCC. So I work with a lot of kids between the ages of 18 and 24, right? And also I'm the director at Kentuck, where I work with, people that come directly out of prison, right? So I could kind of see the effects of bonding and what's it related to and how it transgress into adulthood, and it also contributes to medical issues and relationship issues and toxic stress that leads to death.
That's good. That's good. So Rashida mentioned ideas. Like how did this come about?
Well, I'm gonna start it off with basically I was introduced or inspired by a young lady that is a teacher that was a close family friend, and she's a math teacher like down in Trenton, and she wrote a book and she wrote a workbook. And then we begin to start talking about the statistics and the barriers that children face, you know what I mean? And the gap, the achievement gap with literacy and math and like kids being behind like a grade or two, post COVID, before and after, and it's still a big major gap and a big focus in the Black and brown and underprivileged communities. And so we begin to talk about that, and then just the fact that post COVID, I used to do events in Essex County, and so when she brought it to me, I'm like, oh, I think she said, like, Rashida, it's time. You really need to do it for yourself. Like, you really got to do it in your own. So what came to mind was like, oh, you got to do it for your own county. Like, I no disrespect to Essex, I love y'all, but I have to do it where I'm at as well. You know what I mean? Because this is where I come from. Yeah. So it's personal. You know what I mean? And I thought of, Miss Williams, and I thought of me and her kind of put our heads together and like, okay, who could we get to really like speak on this topic that is really gonna have like, something profound to say to the people that is important. And he comes from where we come from. So he can relate, you know what I'm saying? So he's not just talking just to talk. He's not talking out of a book. He's lived experience, right? People want lived experience, people that they can relate to. And, this will draw them, more to what we're trying to accomplish here, which is social connection, right? The joy, bringing the joy of reading back and literacy, right? Back in the day, you used to beast your mother just to give you money for the Scholastic Book Fair. Like, I don't even hear about none of that going on in the schools no more. I don't know if it does, and I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying, like, there's not enough of that.
What happened to that little magazine we used to get, or a little paper with those? We used to order those books.
Yes. And
but we did. We ordered them and we read them. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Talked about it at the lunch table.
Yeah, like they had these series. They had these series of books and things like that. Man,
Right. And then you had a reward where you could go to Pizza Hut if you read so many books. So that was the incentive. You know what I mean? Like, people want boils now. They want lobster and steak, and like we done got out of that part of it. You know what I'm saying? So our focus is not on the right thing. You know what I'm saying? We have to bring our focus back to what's most important, right? Because all of that won't matter if you can't read or write, right? Or you can't do math, right? None of that is going to matter, later on in life, right? So the idea, this is a part of the reason it came about, and then bring in bingo, the fun of bingo, right? To encourage community connection, right? Building in a relaxed and engaging way, like, so it's a mix of literacy, laughter, and connection, right? Togetherness. So all these three things, I believe, is what's going to be pivotal in a community to thrive. So this is where the idea came about. And Kia, you could piggyback and discuss what your input and insight was on this idea as well.
Okay. So Rashida and I go way back, like 4 flats. That's so
right.
Proud Pattersonians, been working together in the school system, and we've always been, supportive of others. And we just felt like, it's divine timing. It's time for us to get out there, do something for the community. We've always been a part of the community. So why not? Let's not let that fear get in the way. And we was like, all right, we got this. We're going to figure it out. So, I wanted to help my sister out and do something fun and welcoming, for the families, because that's what we're all about. Family. She's about family. I'm about family. So it's more personal as well for us, like where we on that. And also, we could enjoy, having the family reading together, getting back to the basics, get back to, it's just that 5 minutes of time, just 3 minutes of time, it's crucial. Our children and our families need that right now. So, connecting them with each other through, games. Everybody love games. They love having fun. That's the excitement. The books, the mind. Knowledge is power. You need that. And the bonding, which is strengthening like the relationships. So, getting back into the basics, bonding, taking that time out. We're losing our children because we're not bonding as much. We're not checking in.
Yeah.
And that's important, especially now. So much going on in the world, and our children need us.
Yes.
You know what? I want to pivot a little bit, because you just mentioned that bonding piece. And I'm sure, like, with your backgrounds working with your clients, we know that history, where they come from, home life is critical to the trajectory of their life. PhD candidate Marquise, we can start with you, man. Chime in and talk about the significance or the importance of how that needs to be healthy.
Well, kind of led me to even do the event with Sheeta and them. So when you look at bonding, you got 2 forms of bonding, right? You have negative bonding and you have positive bonding. And a lot of times we have to realize that bonding starts at the point of conception, right? Starts at the process of thought when 2 people decide to have a child, right? And the level of bonding is associated with an emotional connection that provides the child with secure attachments, right? So when you look at negative bonding is associated with adverse childhood experiences. So just to give you a few, what adverse childhood experiences is: children that may experience physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional neglect, psychological neglect, abandonment, right? Financial strife, right? Living in violent communities, right? And so studies show that literacy and academic performances, right? When it comes to children that have multiple ACEs, they tend to have lower emergent literacy scores, even in early childhood educational settings. And many of these children are also likely to be behind grade levels in reading, labeling for more special education, or experiencing school suspension and expulsion. So, kind of to give the people an idea of how this comes about, right? And it's not just comes about by a certain environment, it comes by a lack of bonding, right? So when we look at bonding, right, we learn through neurological and cognitive impacts, right? And how we are cognitively impacted, right, determines how we academically excel. So if we're not neurologically or cognitively impacted from a state of positive bonding, right, we endure what's considered to be emotional dysregulations, because most children that don't have secure attachments, they experience abandonment, neglect, and things of this nature. So what this does, and you could look up Bill Lipton, he states in the first 7 years of a child's life, right, we don't so we have two levels of consciousness, right? We have a subconscious and we have a conscious. Our conscience doesn't kick into the age of 7, right? That's what psychologists say, but I'm gonna debate that, right? And I think it kicks in at 9. But however, it's like right now it states that it kicks in at 7. But from the age of 0 to 7, the brain is in autopilot and it only absorbs what's in the environment. So if a child lives in an environment where there's consistent negative bonding circumstances, where there's say domestic violence between the two parties, right? Then that child, the architect of that child brain identifies with the circumstances and the scenarios around them. So in most contexts, if there's no intervention, by the time that child is 8 or 9, you will start to see behavioral issues. And these behavioral issues will lead to academic performances, right, which will start to decline, which will lead to different mental disorders such as conduct disorder, right? But someone may be diagnosed earlier, right, because the traumatic experiences in childhood, right, doesn't just really start between the ages of 0 or 7. They can start in the womb, right? And bonding is a process where mainly our women need to understand that connecting with your child in the womb is very important, right? Because that plays a role in the developmental. And I'm gonna share something with you that we have a lady named Dr. Nadine Burke, right? She was a pediatrician, and I teach my class this a lot because this is very deep. So she was a pediatrician, so most of the time she only looked at, and she has she's on YouTube, all over YouTube. So she deals with mainly kids that come in with different ailments or whatever the case may be. So she had a child come in, and the mother said that well, yeah, she brought him in for asthma. So the mother told her that the child was 7 years old. However, the doctor said she couldn't see that the child was 7. So what she did, she decided to send the child to the endocrinologist, right, which is a bone doctor. So when the bone doctor completed his, study or whatever, he informed her that this child bone density is the age of a 4-year-old. So the traumatic experiences that the child experienced at 4 from his father's physical abuse, what it did is froze his developmental until an intervention was put in place. So what that did was that froze the development to where now what you would see more than likely with this child, due to the traumatic experience, if he doesn't get the right intervention, he's going to be susceptible to a lot of ailments, right? And things of that nature. So statistics show that children that experience high adverse childhood experiences, which is negative bonding, have higher rates of heart disease, developing cancer, obesity, and also suffer from low education, criminal behavior, and things of that nature.
Man, this is really good. This is really good, and this is why you need to be in the building on August 23rd. What time we kicking off? 12?
12 o'clock. Yep, 12 to 5.
Yeah, this is. Where can they go? Where can they go to register? Where can they go to sign up?
It's on my page. And it's all on your page.
It's on my page, so
it's on everybody's page. Marquise Laurie, Akia Williams, and Horology She. It's all on our pages. They can register all on our pages.
Forget, right? You say this. What I'm also going to speak about, because sometimes we can talk, right, and it can sound a certain way, and people can connect the dots based off that. But I want to give the neurological component of how it develops, right? So we have 3 components in our brain, which is called the HPA axis, right? And it's the So that's control our stress, right? So whenever we experience traumatic stress, whether a child or an adult, right, that system gets activated. Now, the more that system becomes activated, it affects what's called cortisol. So cortisol is our stress hormone. So now what you may see when you're under high stress, you may be more susceptible to colds because now your immune system starts to break down and things of that magnitude. So now this from a neurological component dealing with strictly hormones, an imbalance in HPA axis, meaning just from just looking from a numerical perspective, just say if a child out of 7 days a week, they experiences 6 traumatic experiences out of those 7, that means that there's going to be an imbalance because there's going to be a over too much release of the HPA axis. Now, the only way that the HPA axis can be combated is through another hormone, which is called oxytocin. Now, oxytocin can only be released through positive bonding. So it's only released through affection, touch, love, nurturing. If a child doesn't receive any of those things, oxytocin never kicks in. So now what happens is the child develops an emotional dysregulation. And this is when you look at where child empathy is a learned behavior. Sympathy is a learned behavior, right? And these are learned through positive bonding techniques. So you can't expect a child that haven't had positive bonding techniques to identify with empathy, right? Or not to identify with anger and aggression as a way to basically express themselves.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is very much needed in our community. Man, we don't have to get into it tonight. May have to come back for another conversation because where we are now is we understand a lot of people understand now or see now where there are gaps, holes, fractures in the education system. And it's intentional, right? So books, bonding, and bingo becomes an event that keeps the conversation going towards, elevation, evolution, growth, right? Identifying and then also doing something about, the problems or the issues that, you're finding or that you're seeing, like they told Rashida, yo, go back to your hood or go back to your city and do this, right? Because they need it just as bad as we need it, right? And we're already doing it here. We got it working. And shout out to all of everyone who's, contributing to filling those gaps to make sure that our children are getting what their needs are being met. I believe that this event is going to connect on a few different levels, mental, emotional, social, as well as, building these literacy skills that are necessary for our young people. Not just our young people. Let me back up. Because this is a family event, y'all. Like I need y'all to hear me. It's a family event, right? And we're gonna emphasize that. Like when you read the flyer, it specifically says families. And whatever your family constitutes, like whether it's just the mother and the son, father and the daughter, mother and just children, or just grandmother and children. Yeah, like whatever it constitutes, godmother, like legal guardian.
Yes.
Whoever you live with.
I have people saying, "Oh, I ain't got my kids. Can I still come?" Of course, you can still come because you still have kids.
Just because you
don't have your kid that day, don't mean that you don't have kids. Let's go. Bring it on. Let's go.
It's not my weekend.
It's not my weekend. Yes. Definitely, that is important.
Steve, what's up, bro? But I think, man, Marquise, man, you hit on, just a few things that I think are visible without comprehension in our communities. Like we see the behaviors, but we don't understand how people got there.
Yes.
And that's important. What they say, like you judge the fruit, right, but you don't investigate the root.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the intergenerational impact that it has, right? It trickles down, right? That's the intergenerational impact right there.
Yeah. Yo, I do want to Marquise, I think you got a couple of stats, and then we'll come back to Sheeta and Kia. But man, let's talk about that illiteracy piece, man. Just the impact, man. What's the percentage? Like, what's happening? What are those numbers look like? Just to give some visuals to what this looks like, the data.
The percentages are high. The data we is kind of skirted a little bit, but
Okay.
we did research a few information. We show that most public schools in Patterson and between the grades of first through fifth are below.
Mm.
Now, like I said, it's the statistics are kind of screwed, and with me studying psychology, you have to be careful where you get the statistics from. However, from the comprehensive data that the county put together in 2023, I haven't seen the updated one. One of the issues that the county was struggling with was to connect more programs geared towards family dynamics. So that was definitely one of the issues that was addressed in the comprehensive plan. Across the board, this is an issue that's really being addressed in a lot of different communities. I go to Minnesota, and I'm in a cohort with 30 other people, and they're all from different other states. So I understand the different components and where these areas are. They're affected everywhere, and it's not just Black and brown, right? It's different diversities and different ethnicities that are still affected by negative bonding, right? Things of that nature, right? Sometimes we look at our community but not understand that somebody that was for the first 10 years of their life while their country was in war, right? They're impacted the same exact way if their mother or parents died and things of that nature constantly every day. It's the same thing as living in a violent community. So that's why when I look at the intergenerational impact, right, we look at Black and brown, but this is a world issue from many different components.
Yeah, that's good. It's a broader issue that we don't necessarily see because we have our own thing going on here, and most of the time we're kind of like in our bubble, with us.
And the dynamics is, and this is my take on it, right? My take is that it's more so what we do after school. See, me, I hold more accountability on the family because the family dynamics plays a major role in the child development. If the family promotes education, the child sees academics as a stepping stone, right? And it all relates to the family dynamics. And what made me really identify with that, it came to one of the books that I wrote, which was Crime and Reason, Black Choice. And I looked at how different nationalities came over and they lived in some of the, all of us grew up in the same areas. And we know different nationalities that came over and moved in the same communities that we lived in, but never engaged in the same things. That dynamics, right? When you would get certain families, they would live right on the boulevard, right in the heart of everything, right? But they didn't engage in the same activities as the majority. So that right there kind of lets you know we could look at the social system, we could look at the systemic issues, but the root is.
Hold on, Marquise. You went out. You got to repeat that. The root is start at the root.
The root starts with the family and what they provide for the child, right? Because we can realize this. We can see plenty of people that migrate to this country with nothing, right? But if they migrate with 10 of them and they all have a collective agenda, right? That family will move into the next stage of life, right? And they would be successful because now they have a collective idea. And in our community, what happens is that we have grown to have an individualistic perspective. So that kind of, affects the collectiveness and where bonding now is not even, an essential component in our community anymore.
Man, the family cannot be ignored no matter how much you try. And we really have to start paying attention to media and the different things that they're promoting that's anti-family, that pulls away from family. Because one of the things that most other or a lot of other ethnicities have the advantage of us, they have that familial communal support. Let's keep it a buck. We not living seven people to a 2-bedroom.
Right.
Somebody got to go.
Right.
Somebody's have to go. But they're like, nah, bro. We got 3 to a room.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2 to a room and three in the living room. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
they come up with a system and they build, like they don't mind. You
Sacrificing.
know, so you talked
Mm-hmm.
about that individualistic mindset. That's anti-family,
Right.
and we have to go back to making the sacrifices. And then for what we don't know, we just need to start. We need to go find out, right? Like, and because if we're gonna get it, it has to start somewhere at this point. Like, we can't just continue and
Right.
you know, blame others, and and I know that it's deeply rooted. Listen, I am not ignoring that is deeply rooted, is intrinsic in the system, in the makeup. The system is working for who it's supposed to work for. I understand all of that, and I know all of that. It's just, as we are aware, when do we start
Mm-hmm.
to recreate, the future for the family, the family dynamics. But listen, yo, this is a great conversation. I gotta get to the host. um give me one thing that you're excited about with this book's bonding and bingo coming up. What's one thing that you're excited about?
The connection, bringing different families together, connecting different families, building a stronger sense of community, and also just them getting a better understanding of the why, the root, like you said, the why this is happening, or the why our family is structured or operates in this way. This could be the reason why. And Marquise is giving you some type of foundation and a solution to, what you can do to, um, turn things around in your
Yeah.
family. You know what I mean? If that's what your goal is, you know what I'm saying? So you have to know what your goal is for coming. You know what I mean? Is your goal is to be nosy? Is your goal is to really get the knowledge and understanding and wisdom, in order to change the trajectory of your family going down a negative path. You know what I mean? Because you see what's going on, or are you coming to see how you can take accountability and for your family? Because some people will say, "Well, that's him that can't read. That's her that's them that can't read. I can read." So they don't hold themselves accountable. They take themselves out of it, and they make it a child problem, because that's who we are recognizing, or that's who we seeing, or the school sees. But the parents is the one that has to be willing and to accept accountability and responsibility. And I think that's what's most important, because it's just not your child.
Yeah.
They operate from a family system. They operate from a family structure. So everybody needs to be held accountable. And so all the pointing of fingers that's not going to help us. It's not.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to talk about the stakeholders, the politicians, and all of them or whatever. They already know what they need to do. And if they don't, then, you got to answer to somebody. I ain't here to do that. But, if you know better, you do better. And when you know and you have the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding, you got to make it applicable, right? We talk about that. Proverbs.
Yo, Kia, I'm gonna say something about Sheeta before we go, y'all. I'm gonna say something publicly about this one right here, and this my blood. This my blood. So this is my blood, and we attend the same church. So I'm gonna be able to say what I'm gonna say. But Kia, go ahead. What you excited about, sis? What are you looking forward to?
What you looking forward to, Kia?
Connections with the families.
Yeah.
Being able to help them to walk away with some type of knowledge or resource that they can use inside of their home, something that could be applicable to them. And I'm also excited about doing my whole little bingo piece. That's one of my things that I love. I love excitement.
She loved that. That's her.
What kind of bingo we doing? We doing R&B bingo? Like, what we doing? Like, what kind of bingo we doing?
Are we doing an old school? Well, see, I have all right. So I have the boards with the shit. I'm coming with all of that, like the real old bingo where you roll the thing. Seriously.
Oh yeah. You know what? That's old school, but they still got those. They still have those.
Really? Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
my
Bingo
dates.
night. Yo, bingo night is huge.
Yeah, bingo is major,
Okay.
especially in our communities.
Bingo is huge. Listen, that's the older people's version. That's their safe version of playing Stilo on the block or dice on the block.
I-19.
056. Trips double pay.
Yes.
Here we go. That's good though. That's good. I mean, Marquise, as the keynote speaker, what are you looking forward to from this event?
Looking forward to provide information, and because at the end of the day, we all experience something, right? But
Yeah,
my main goal is just to provide information based off the education and experiences that I've experienced, because I can identify with maybe what 90% of the people are at or where they're trying to go.
yeah. Somebody want to know, is prizes going to be there for the bingo?
Of
Told you.
course. What would it be without prizes?
They want some incentives. They want some.
Is that auntie in the chat saying that?
It
All right,
is.
auntie, yes. Definitely
Yeah,
prizes.
it is. Y'all, so I just want to say I'm excited about this event. When Rashida first talked about it, and I thought it was a great idea. Always excited when people are actually meeting a need, right?
Yes.
And to all of you that are working this, especially the sponsors, be encouraged along the way. You just continue to perfect the content, the information, the event. Those who are supposed to be there will be there. But then this next question is this something that will continue?
You want me to go, Sheila? Oh.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, it's your turn.
Yes, I feel we have something in play that we probably would pass out a flyer for, but we definitely needed to continue. And what we want to kind of focus on the next event is maternal health, working with maybe just inviting girls between the age of 12 and 18, because a lot of the programs are designed for the young boys, right? Because we look at the crime, but we have to realize we have to start implementing some type of interventions and programs for young girls, because these are the mothers of the boys that come.
Yeah.
So if the mothers are, if we start to focus on the mothers, we can help them become better with their offsprings to basically decrease the things that we're focusing on.
Yeah, man, y'all giving me a lot of things tonight. My mind is running, man. It's because it's just so much. Like this topic is, it's a lot to this topic, and it's a lot that's happening, and it's a lot of distractions that's happening, that's pulling people away from, what's important. This is important, and this has to be supported the way we support entertainment. Yeah. Jeff, we will send you the link where to send donations. We will send you the link. We'll make sure you get it. So some people in the chat is asking about where can they send donations. And Jeff is from our family's hometown down in Aiken, South Carolina.
Nice.
So
nice. Welcome,
Jeff is viewing this from South Carolina, and he we had a cousin down there named JB Moody. JB Moody had a barbershop. Jeff is now owner of one of the barbershops down there. JB has retired some years ago. He's retired, and so Jeff is, picking it up. He has his own barbershop down there. So, man, shout out to my good brother Jeff Brown from Aiken, South Carolina. But again, these topics are so important, in our community, and we need to support this the way we're standing online for the Retro Jays. We need to support this the way we're standing online to get in our local sporting events. We need to support this the way we support and tell people about movies we like or what we're streaming. This has to be like top priority, especially when you have countries like China that AI is a part of their curriculum. Like their basic curriculum, AI is a part of their basic curriculum. Again, it's one thing to excel where you are in your local community. It's another thing when you get on the broader stage and you're fighting or competing for a scholarship with someone else outside your area. You know, the standards become
Real different.
a little different, and so we can't even allow our metrics to be us comparing ourselves to each other.
Right.
We really have to look at who's excelling, right, at the highest level in this category, in this area. What are they doing? That has to be my metric. Because if not, then we're gonna come in under every single time. Man, I appreciate y'all tonight. Marquise, last words, closing tonight. I want you to encourage somebody to come. Like, just share your heart, man.
Say if you're looking to understand intergenerational impact can trickle down into generations to come, right? This is something that you might want to, because it's an event where a lot of us as parents and as our parents have not dealt with the generational trauma that's still being affected by our kids now, and some of us can see out because now we're at an age where our kids are in their 20s, 19, and we can see some underlying issues with our own children, even as people that have education. So I would say that the goal is to basically get people to identify with intergenerational impact and family dynamics and how important it is to basically establish positive bonding and nurturing with your child from a point of conception until.
Yeah, that's good. Kia, invite them out. Talk about it. Let's get them to come. How we getting them to come?
So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say three things. Come with a positive energy, positive vibe. Come with your mind open. Come with some excitement and leaving with something that's going to strengthen your relationship.
Yeah. Sheeta?
I'm just gonna say I hope everyone leaves feeling more connected, more inspired, and more seen after this event.
Oh, that's great. Y'all, so before we go, let me tell y'all something about Sheeta. Sheeta be like, I don't want to talk in front of people. I don't want to talk in front of people. Like, I just can't. No, y'all, she had no problem tonight. And
No,
then
but
she
you know
said,
because I talk so much dealing with clients, so I need to fall back sometimes. Like that's my way of like I need to listen more because I'll get tired of doing that. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just like sometimes I feel like whenever I could just be in the back, I'm gonna do that. You don't get it? No?
You
It
know
don't
how
work?
I'll give it.
It ain't gonna work. We
and,
tried
and,
it.
and then y'all heard her say, "Let me just stop because I can keep going." You know what I'm saying? And it's just like she's actually saying something. Some people talk and don't say anything. She's actually saying something, right? Which is different. And so you're a needed voice. You're a needed vessel.
Thank you.
Yes.
Don't play down. Shine. Soar.
Yes.
Right? Light it up. Y'all, it's been
great.
Listen.
Like, with the family too. My family, Kia, Marquise, that's the family. So we gonna light it up.
Let's go. So we'll see you on the 23rd. Everyone in the comments. Huge favor. I need everybody to hit the share button. We asked you to share at the beginning. Need you to hit it again.
Where we do this at?
Do you have, before we go real quick, do you have any plans for special education?
It falls bonding. It falls under the same concept, right? It's an event for all children. There's no separation between a child that has special education and a child that doesn't. Bonding is effective across the board. It works effectively with children with autism, children that is experiencing different ailments, right? Bonding is effective for all and understanding those concepts.
Cool. Well, family, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Come back, check my page, check Rashida's page, Horology She. You can check Marquis' page. You can check Akia's page. All of the information is there. Over the next couple of weeks, we just want y'all to share. We want y'all to get it out. Like, we want a line. Like, this is the place to be. It's gonna be a great event.
Come
Listen,
early.
it's
Come
12
early.
to
If you
5.
got an Uber there, it might be better too. I don't know if it's limited parking, but you try to get there early.
And it's
Yeah,
a beautiful space.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna be.
it's a beautiful space, and
It is.
it can hold a nice amount of people. So
It can hold, and you don't feel like you on top of each other. So
Nope.
you're
yeah,
gonna feel the love and the energy.
Real
and the space.
real comfortable. It's real comfortable.
Yes.
yep. So appreciate everybody.
We appreciate you, Mr. Moody, for giving us this platform and allowing us to, speak to the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
This is
appreciate you.
this aligns with everything that God has given me. So I just appreciate being connected to all of you, and again, look forward to seeing you on the 23rd. Look forward to seeing our audience.
Wait, we gotta make sure the MC there. Bingo, mic check, big.
Oh, you already know I got that cover. I got my microphone.
You got a microphone good. I was thinking about that.
I got a speaker. She got the microphone and she DJ Key.
Okay.
Putting it all together.
That was definitely on my mind, the microphone. I said, let me
Yes.
know that movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So family, peace. Everybody have a great night, and
Yep.
we'll see you on the 23rd.
Make sure y'all on time, because you don't want to miss the guest speaker. Please be on time. Please. That's important.
Peace.
Peace. Thank you.